All right. Hello, everyone. Realty One Group Terminus family. We have a special guest today, Ryan with Reminder Media. And he's going to be going over some of our new features that we have in regards to this partnership and how it can help you grow your business, specifically retaining business and building a referral business through your sphere of influence. And I'm going to go ahead and let Ryan kick it off and take it from here.
Yeah, appreciate you very much, Adrian, for having us out today again. Thank you so much for the agents that are on the call, giving us some time out of your day to talk about this. We're very excited to talk about the new partnership with Realty One. Your VP of marketing just had a recent leadership meeting with all of the brokers, countrywide, and as of February 24th, we are your newest approved partnership. Now, since February 24th, believe it or not, we've already had over 500 Realty One agents sign up for this thing. So a lot of support behind Realty One. We're excited to talk to more of the team. For those of you that might be familiar with Reminder Media, maybe you might have worked with us in the past, don't tune me out just yet. There's a lot of new implementations that we've added over the last couple of years. I think you're going to be very pleasantly surprised with. For those of you that are not familiar with us, we do a little bit of marketing in every aspect for you. So we do print marketing, digital marketing, and social media marketing. Now, Reminder Media has been in business for 20 years. We started the company back in 2004. It's a family-owned business based right outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We have over 35,000 current realtors nationwide that are working with us and over 140 relationship-based businesses that we've serviced over that 20-year span. You could check us out on any Google, Facebook, Instagram platform. We've got thousands of five-star reviews, a lot of raving fans out there. Now, one of the really crazy parts about 2024, and I'm sure a lot of you know this, it was a very, very tough year for real estate. Most realtors, 71% of realtors actually did zero deals last year. So 71% of your competition, if this is you included, you're in the same boat as most realtors are. So the NAR did a study to try to figure out what's happening other than the changes that happened in September with buyers, right? What else is happening? Well, 81% of home sellers are only interviewing one agent these days. And it's actually the same trend this year. It's a little bit higher. It's about 84% year to date. So what does that study tell you? Well, it tells you that 9 times out of 10, when you go to a listing appointment this year, if you don't get the agreement before you leave, you're not going to get it. Somebody else is going to get it, right? So you have to make sure that not only what you look like and what you say is on point, but your brand recognition and your brand materials need to really be leveled up these days. You can't just have the same old thing anymore. It's just not going to work. Now, beyond that, 65% of sellers and 56% of buyers found their agent through referral, or they just picked the same agent that they worked with in the past. So kind of, piggybacking off of what Adrian started the conversation with, it's all about your SOI, right? The listings are in the relationships. It's just a matter of how consistently are you staying top of mind with those relationships, and that's what we really focus on. Now, what we find is that most realtors tend to invest probably the majority of their time, energy, and money into this side of the pond. They're all about doing Zillow leads and Realtor.com, cold calling, Instagram, Facebook, FISBOs, and you name it. And don't get me wrong, you absolutely need to be doing these things. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be doing these things. But if you look at all these marketing strategies combined, they only represented 35% of the total listings that were available to get your hands on. 65% of all listings were coming from right here. Repeat, referral, word of mouth. So it's just as important to nurture as it is to go after new lead generation. So when you look at your marketing budget, really what you should be saying to yourself is 70% of my marketing budget should really be spent on my database, and the rest of it is spent on all the new lead generation stuff that I want to do. Now, this is the really intriguing part about working with us, and this is the number one reason that Realty One got into a partnership with us, because we are proof over promises. How many of you guys have taken phone calls from guys like me? We all have shiny objects. Like everybody's got the best things since sliced bread. We're going to get you listings. Don't worry, right? And then you do it and it falls flat on its face. What I mean by proof over promises is that we're actually in the real estate business. We're not just a real estate marketing company. We have our own team. You're more than welcome to fact check me on Google. You can look them up. They're called the Akery Brothers Realty Team. They're based out of Virginia. This is a team of 5 agents. Okay, 5 agents last year, 260 closings between the 5 of them, 68 million in volume, and over 50% of their deals coming through referral. This guy right here with the beard and the hat, he's actually the president of my company's brother. He took his own brother 6 years ago and said, "Go get your real estate license. We're going to use you as the case study. You're going to be the guinea pig." Everything I'm showing you in this demo right now, he has already leveraged to make sure that the return on investment is there. Steven's first year in business, 35 closings. Second year in business, 78. third year in business, 103. He's now considered one of the top 2% agents in the country. Now, I know what you're thinking. Maybe, okay, he's the president's brother. He's going to have some support there. I'll give you another story. This guy right here, it's the number one agent on his team. His name is Tim Bushnell. This is a guy that started 14 months ago, a true start from scratch story. I'm talking about no database, no SOI, just moved from Texas to Virginia to be on our team. No friends, no family locally. A real start from scratch story. 70 closings in 2024. 70. You can look him up. Tim Bushnell, Virginia. So I'm not showing you these numbers to impress you guys. That's not why we do this. We're showing you this so that you can kind of impress upon you that what we're doing is tried and true. It's not a question of does it work or not? Is this going to be a working concept? We know it is. We're the number one team in Virginia 5 years running. So what's the number one bread and butter touch point that they're using? Well, the main bread and butter touch point that they use is one of our 4 luxury branded magazines that we create for Realty One. There's 4 different magazines that we design for you. We have Good to Be Home, Start Healthy, American Lifestyle, and Business in Action. All 4 of these are 48-page luxury magazines. They look and feel very similar to like an Architectural Digest or a Southern Living, Better Homes and Gardens. If you ever, held those magazines in your hands before, that's the exact quality that we're compared to. Now, the only difference between the magazines, and you'll see at the bottom here, is the theme of the content, right? So we have home and garden, health and wellness, travel, food, art, design, and business and entrepreneurship. So you can actually mix and match these magazines based on the client that you're sending them to. If it's a past client that you're nurturing, we can right fit the content to them. Or if you maybe want to use these for something more of like a listing appointment or an open house or a business to business prospecting, we can make sure that we're right fitting the content to the client that you're giving it to. Now, just to kind of give you a little bit more of an in-depth look here, there's 6 different areas in the magazine that we give you to make it your own. You get the front cover, you get the inside front cover. We then give you 2 tear out cards. You also get the back inside cover and the back cover itself. 6 different areas of customization that we implement for you. Let me be very clear. You are not responsible for any of this. If you just want to give us your headshot and give us the people you want to mail it to, that's the extent of the realtor's work and involvement on this. This is really completely turnkey. But if you do want to be, more hands-on and you want to pick your own recipe cards and pick your own back covers and things like that, you absolutely can do that. So I know some realtors want to have more creative control than others. It's totally up to you. Now, let me show you how you're going to start leveraging this, okay? How do you get the return on investment from it? Because that's really what's important. Who cares what it looks like, what it feels like? Let's talk about how you're going to get paid using it, right? So starting on the front cover, we do a call to action on this thing. Call to action is a lead magnet. Scan here for your free home evaluation. Every single time they scan this QR code, we're going to provide you the analytics of that scan, who filled it out, their name, their address, their phone number. So this is a lead generator for you, and it's extremely effective. We just mailed this magazine to a neighborhood of 150 homes last month, 33 scans on 150 homes. That's how effective that can be for lead generation. So that's one way to use it. The second way I'd like to leverage it for you is the letter on the inside front cover. So we give you a personalized letter on the inside front cover, and we customize that letter down to each individual recipient. So when you send this to a past client, it's not just going to say, "Dear valued customer," or "Dear neighbor," or say some generic message in there. It's going to actually say, "Dear Adrian, thank you so much for the recent opportunity at the listing. Wanted to wish you and the family a happy holidays. I want you guys to start thinking about attacking life events, right? The birthdays, the anniversaries, the Christmases, those things that you're doing. If you're not attacking life events, you need to be, because that's just real estate 101, right? But if you are attacking them, if you're doing something like an email or a postcard, or maybe you're doing a birthday card or a thank you card, I'm not saying that those things are not beautiful touch points from the realtor, but what they do suffer from is shelf life. I think everybody on this call can agree that a day after your birthday, they're going to throw their card in the trash. That's just the reality of what people do, right? So this is a great way to attack life events, but actually give yourself a long shelf life. Now, other than attacking life events, we could also use this letter to be a value proposition. I can do a bio about you to make it speak to the community about what you bring to the table. So it could be used in many other ways. From there, open house use. So let me give you an example here. When somebody goes to your open house, they're not just going to your open house that day. I think everybody knows this, right? They're probably going to go to 3 or 4 open houses that day. With all due respect, Most realtors' open houses look like a carbon copy of each other. It's always kind of the same business card, flyer, grass signs, something like that along those lines, water, snacks. And again, that's what people are expecting to see. So I don't want to change what you're doing. I just want to complement what you're doing. When people get home from 3 or 4 open houses and they're, trying to discern who's the best agent, right? Who's the most credible? Who do I really want to work with? This is a very easy way to differentiate yourself from the pack. When they have 3 different business cards in one magazine, this screams credibility, and it's a very easy way to differentiate yourself. So a great use case there. Then from there, you could also become an ambassador of your community with it. Your doctor's office, your dentist's office, the beautician, the nail technician. What does every single one of these businesses on this list have in common from a marketing standpoint? There's really only one thing, and that is waiting rooms with magazines. There is no newsletter or flyer or postcard that is ever going to get into these businesses' waiting rooms. They're not going to do it. They're going to put it in the back room for their staff. And not that you're not after their staff, but who you're really after is the 200 teeth cleanings that the dentist is doing per week. How do you get in front of that? You got to be in the waiting room. You got to be out of sight, out of mind, but there for you when they need you. That is why this is so effective. And if you think about the QR code that we talked about, where you have that call to action on the front cover, imagine how effective this could be when you leave it at local businesses and people can be engaging with the front cover of your magazine and you're getting the leads generated by that QR code. And then last but not least, not only could you drop it off at those local businesses, but how about co-branding with them, right? Your lender, your title company. Maybe there's a local contractor, a builder. Maybe you have an in-house lender that you guys work with. All of these things can be co-branded in the magazine and gives you that ability to leverage additional repeat and referral business from them. I can't tell you how many realtors I talk to when they tell me how many closings that they did the year prior. They usually always tell me that zero of them came from their partnerships. And when I say your partnerships, I mean like referrals from your lender, your title company, the people that you're consistently reciprocating referrals to. You're sending them business all the time. Why are they not sending you business in return? Well, I'll tell you why. Because they have 30 or 40 other realtors to satisfy, just like you. They tell every other realtor the same thing. I'm going to send you referrals. Don't worry. We're going to make sure that we, reciprocate the relationship. Here's the reality. They have a lot of people to satisfy. The best way to get them to send you referrals is have leverage over them. Go in there, give them free marketing in your magazine, and use this as a way to stay top of mind with them more consistently. They will send you more referrals than you're getting now. It's a very simple secret sauce. And then just to kind of wrap this up, we also give you predictive analytics. So Realty One is grandfathered into this. This is included with the magazine. There's no additional cost. For those of you that are familiar with predictive analytics, I'll give you a very simple example of what predictive analytics are. When you go to YouTube and you watch a video, or TikTok and watch a video, and then 10 or 15 minutes later, it's sending you similar videos to that, right? That's predictive analytics. It's a software that's looking at what you're doing online and determining what you're going to do next, right? So if you see here, we actually are going to give the Realty One agents a list of people that are most likely to move in the next 12 months. And then we're also going to score them from most likely to least likely to move. This is one of the most accurate, likely to move predictive analytics in the country. It's 1 in 4 accurate. It's extremely accurate. So for example, you could give me your SOI. You could have, let's just say 500 people in your database. I can scan all 500 right now and tell you who's hot or who's not. Or you could say, hey, look at my neighborhood. Look at this zip code for me. Tell me where to mail these magazines to. I can do that with this system. So this is included with the magazine at no cost. And then just to wrap this up before we dive into pricing and incentives, when we compare the magazine to, let's just say, 90% of the traditional marketing that agents use, right? This is the baseline of what most realtors are doing. And don't get me wrong, we're not knocking any of this stuff. We do a little bit of all these things. But if you're on this side of the fence where you're doing dinner, bottle of wine, gift card, gift basket, I love those things. But they are very hard to maintain from a cost effective and a time effective perspective. Like, you're not going to be bringing out your entire database to dinner all the time and buying wine. It's just not possible. You'll go broke trying to do it. Okay. And then on the other hand, if you're doing more of this strategy where you're doing newsletter, flyer, postcard, email, drip campaigns, again, let me be very clear. We are very big proponents that no marketing is bad marketing. Everything can be used if it's effective and used the right way. But you have to put yourself in the consumer's shoes. If I took every single person off of this meeting right now and I just had a one-on-one call with you and I asked you, hey, when you get home from work every night and you take off your real estate cap and you're just a consumer, just like I am, if you go open up your mailbox this evening and find a newsletter, a postcard, or a flyer from any local business, it could be a car dealership, a pest control company, solar panels, whatever it may be, I would be hard pressed to think that more than 95% of you would not tell me that you look at it for about 1 minute and throw it in the trash can or recycle it. That's just the reality. And I'm not saying that some of you don't keep it, and there aren't people out there that don't keep these things. But when they bring them inside, I guarantee you that they are not putting them somewhere that they see them every day. They will put them in a pile of other postcards. They will stick them on the side of their refrigerator. They'll put them in the junk drawer of their kitchen. You know, like the intention is good. The intention to call you is good. But if you're not in front of them every single day, you will not be top of mind. The magazine is very naturally going to land one of four places, right? Where do magazines usually go? It's always a coffee table, a kitchen table, the bar, or, not to be funny, but, maybe the bathroom if you're lucky, right? But the point is we want to get you somewhere where you're more synonymous with their day-to-day life. The more they see you every day, the more consistently you're top of mind, the more consistent you'll drive repeat and referral business. So I'm going to dive into the pricing and incentives now. Everybody grab your pen. I'm going to show you guys what you need to get started with us. Believe it or not, you can do these magazines for less than a Hallmark card. They are $4.99 landed to your client store. And when I say landed, I mean all the printing, all the shipping, all the customizations, postage, everything landed. Now, we only require a minimum of 50 magazines, so it's $249.50 landed to your client store. Now, we do have a one-time activation fee, and due to the new partnership with Realty One, we're not going to charge you guys our online pricing, which is $299 to sign up with us. Through this presentation, you will get it for $99. The $99 is a one-time fee. You will never pay it again. It is a one-time, one and done, and then from there, your account is active for life. You do not pay the $249.50 until the magazines go to print, and you have 30 days to pay for your magazines. So there's no rush. Everybody from Realty One will have the ability to log into our system, check out everything we're giving you, dot your I's and cross your T's. And then when you're ready to go to print, that's when you'll pay the $249.50. Now, what does the $99 go towards? Well, the incentives that it goes towards, one of the really major components and one of the big reasons that we became an approved partner is because we gave you guys a one-time trial with no commitment or contract. Everybody from Realty One will be able to do this one time so that we can prove to you that we are the company that we say we are. Remember earlier, I told you proof over promises, right? I don't need to sign you up for 12 months or any of that. Go try this one time. If I can't get you listings, if I can't get you the type of response, I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody on this call I'm going to get you 70 closings like Tim Bushnell. I'm not even going to sit here and tell you I'm going to get you 20 closings. But there is absolutely no reason that if you just follow the strategies and tactics I just found that I just showed you, there is no reason that everybody on this call can't get 4 or 5 listings using this. There's absolutely no reason. Now, if you really work it the way that a guy like Tim Bushnell has been working it, you can do just as much as he's doing with it. But let's start small, right? I get you 4 or 5 listings off of this thing, it's paid for itself tenfold. If I got you one closing, it's already paid for itself tenfold. But usually the average is about 4 or 5. So with that said, no commitment, no contract trial. You can dip your toes in the pool, try this one time, and then discern if you want to continue doing it after that. The other incentives are as follows. You're going to get a personal marketing advisor that's going to make the entire magazine turnkey for you. We do all the predictive analytics, all that stuff is done for you. We mail the magazines, we do it all for you. And then you're also going to get mailing list exclusivity. Anybody that is getting these magazines from Realty One agents, you will be the only agent with the magazine in the mailbox. Nobody else can do these magazines, no other agent, no other business. You will be the only magazine like this in the mailbox, and we guarantee that. Now, there's one last incentive that we're going to be including for Realty One. I just want to open up the floor really quickly for some Q&A. Pull out your phone, scan the QR code. That'll give you some more information. Also, if you want to sign up for the trial, you can scan the QR code. But I want to open up the floor for some quick Q&A before I go over the final incentives here.
Does anyone have any questions for Ryan? I know we had an agent in the past that worked with you guys, and I know we had another agent that just signed up recently.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, we've actually been working with you guys. Not sure who the recent agent was, but we've had a couple of agents from your specific brokerage that have been working with us for sure. Yeah, I know one of them was Jandra Eldridge, and then we also had Pamela
Okay.
McKeithen.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, we actually have a Pamela has her hand raised right now. Give me 1 second. Let me see what she
Yeah,
has.
great. Let's do it.
Yeah, I know Jimmy worked with you guys as well for a moment, and I think Michaela just if you guys could actually type in the Q&A, whatever your question may be, because it looks like Jamila might have had a question as well.
Yeah, let me just kind of open it here and see if there's anything coming up. I'll open up the chat here, see if anybody kind of says anything to us here.
Hmm.
I'll just put kind of Q.
Yeah. I know they both had their hand raised, but yeah, if you guys could type it in the Q&A, that'd be preferable,
I'm
please.
gonna put it up on the chat for you guys. So just gonna put kind of questions here. I'll just kind of move this over here while everybody has a chance to scan the QR code. I mean, we've really come full circle. And, for those of you that might have worked with us, just a few years ago, you can see how much we've implemented just in these, last couple of years with the predictive analytics and the likely to move system and all the new strategies and tactics that we're using. It used to just be really focused on past client nurture, which of course it's great for that. But now you really have to think about it from more of a first impression standpoint too. Like this is an incredible business card on steroids, right? Like you could go to a listing appointment with this and it just instantly screams credibility, right? Or you can go to an open house with it. You could leave it behind at local businesses. You could co-brand with other people and other partnerships. I mean, there's just so many use cases for it that it'd be almost impossible not to get some level of return on investment if you're using it in these ways. Now, there is one other thing I'm going to go over with you guys incentive wise that we're doing for Realty One. I just want to make sure I'm satisfying any questions. I haven't seen anything get typed in
So,
yet. Oh,
yeah,
oh wait, no, now I see it. Q&A.
yeah.
What do you mean by trial? Okay. So trial is that you send out your first 50 magazines and you're not obligated to signing up for anything past that, right? It's a one-time mailing trial, a one-time trial mailing. Most marketing strategies that you sign up for, they sign you up for a contract, right? You have to sign up for a 12-month agreement or an 18-month agreement or whatever the contract says it has to be right up front. You don't even know if it's going to work for you yet. You don't know if you're going to get any level of return on investment. Like all this stuff looks great. It all looks great. It all sounds great. We've talked about the success with my Akery Brothers team, and I've showed you the blueprint of how we're doing it, right? But you guys are always going to have the fear of the unknown. If you've never tried this before, it could all sound great. It could all look great. The pricing could be right on point. But if you've never tried it, you're always going to have the fear of the unknown. Unfortunately, you're in a business where you have to fail forward. You have to fail fast, right? You have to try things to know, are they going to work for my business or not? It's very straightforward, right? So what we're doing is we're saying, try us one time. You do not have to sign up for a contract. Give me the opportunity, dip your toes in the pool. Do this one time. If I cannot get you a listing or two, you never do it again. You're not signing up for anything long term. Now, if you want to continue after the trial, then we go into bi-monthly mailings. So let me make this easy for everybody. We do 6 total mailings per year, one every other month. So they're bi-monthly mailings. The first one is a trial with no commitment or contract. And then after the trial, if you love it and you saw the return that you wanted, then you're doing 5 additional mailings bi-monthly. Does that answer the question, Pamela, in terms of the trial? Okay, great. Any other questions in the chat that I can answer? Kind of open up the floor for you guys.
Cool.
And Adrian, for you, just so you know, like, not to put you on the spot here, but a lot of the Realty One brokers and managing partners are getting behind this too. If you want to do an actual like broker copy, obviously it would not compete with the agents. It's more of a copy to kind of showcase the brokerage and showcase the credibility that you bring as a whole to the team. We can certainly, doll up something for the brokerage if you wanted to try this yourself. There's been a lot of Realty One agents, not only agents but brokers, that are kind of getting behind it too. So just food for thought. If you wanted to do something that could showcase some of the agents, a little bit of a co-branding, some of your partnerships, right? Your investors, your financial advisors, the people that is your bread and butter of your side of the business, we could totally market to them and help the brokerage grow as well, not just the agent. So just food for thought on that. I see another question coming in from Tanisha. With sending the first 50, what sphere have agents seen the most return with? Like, who should the first 50 target? That's a great question. So, one of the things first is that we're going to use the predictive analytics. Don't forget that, right? So, I'm going to look at your SOI and I'm going to score it first thing. I'm going to look at who is online looking for realtors, researching things like CMAs and home evaluations, right? This is the world that we live in now. People know what you're doing online. If you have the software and you know where to look, this is the information that you can get. So I can go out there and find the people in your SOI that are hot and then we will narrow that list down and say these are the VIPs that we believe you should mail these magazines to. Now, at the end of the day, it's up to you to agree with that list or not. I mean, we don't, we're not just going to do, anything that we want. Ultimately, you're green lighting everything that we're doing, but we're going to score that list for you first. So I would say the first thing that you want to look at is your SOI and score it and say to yourself, okay, who's the best of the best of my SOI? Okay, that's 18 people. Okay, 18 magazines there. Then the next thing that we're going to look at is like your neighborhood and your zip code with that likely to move system. And we're going to start finding organic lead generation that we can use for those. And then we'll mail the magazines directly to those new leads for you. And then just food for thought for any agent that's maybe thinking this, you can have any one of those 50 magazines mailed to yourself, right? So if you say, hey, out of the 50 magazines, I want to mail 30 of them, but the other 20 I want sent to me because I'm going to use these for more of like first impressions when I go to events, open houses, listing appointments. I want to have some personal copies on hand. You can 100% do that. There's no difference in cost, no matter where you want to ship them, who you want to ship them to. There is absolutely no difference in cost. But really great question, Tanisha. I appreciate that very, very much. Yeah, no problem at all. Appreciate you. Okay, so I have one other incentive that I'm going to hook you guys up with for anybody that signs up for this thing today and is willing to give us a shot at this one-time trial. And I will check the Q&A last minute before I kind of go off here just to make sure there's nothing that we're missing. But for everybody that gives this thing a shot today, we are going to include a month free of our entire digital marketing platform. And this is how we make you omnipresent, right? If you know what that term means, omnipresent marketing, it just means that no matter where people look, they see you. That is the best marketing in the world. That's what you really need to be is omnipresent. This is how we do it. So there's 5 features that we include with the digital marketing. This is a $120 value. I'm giving you 30 days of it for free. Nobody's paying for this for the first month. We want you guys to really see what we're made of. If you want to keep this after the first month, we're going to drop it down to 59 bucks a month. 60 bucks a month. I do all your digital marketing and I do all your social media, and you don't lift a finger. And you could focus on being a good agent and not have to worry about being bogged down with this. Okay. So, what does it include? First thing is the landing page. You get that no matter what. That's the QR code that we talked about scanning for home evaluations and things like that. You're going to get that no matter what. The other 4 features are as follows. You're going to get digital versions of the magazine. So for all the people that aren't getting physical copies, you'll be able to email digital copies, which is a game changer. That way, everybody gets your magazine, not just the 50 VIPs that we're going to send it to. The next piece of the puzzle is automated social media. Your Facebook, your Instagram, completely set up on an automated calendar where you don't lift a finger. We're doing it all for you. And we're very, very good at turning followers into hand raisers. There's a big difference between likes and listings, right? So we do that for you. We have a proven algorithm on that. And then last but not least, you get local events and branded posts. Local events is amazing. Every 2 weeks, bi-weekly email newsletter sent out to your entire database with all the local events that are happening with your branding tied to them. So just think things like farmers markets, seafood festivals, concerts that are coming into town, right? We're trying to make you an ambassador of your community without you having to really be an ambassador of your community, right? So we're doing it all for you. It looks like you're doing it, but we're doing this for you, right? This is the 200 touch point system that we set your business up on. It is 200 different touch points. This is set it and forget it autonomy. With all due respect, I love Tim Bushnell to death. 70 deals last year is an epic year for your first year in business. I mean, any realtor on this call would be to get half of that, you'd be happy, right? But I'm not taking anything away from Tim. But at the end of the day, all he's doing is following this blueprint. That's all he's doing. He's just following this algorithm and this blueprint and closing deals. So I'm going to go back here. Again, give you guys one last opportunity to get this thing scanned. You're going to get the digital. You're going to get the $99 setup fee. Everything comes with this QR scan when you scan it. I'm pulling up the Q&A one more time just to see if we have any last minute questions while we give the rest of the team a chance to scan. Adrian, I want to thank you again for this opportunity. I'm sorry we went a little bit, longer than expected, but with the questions and the engagement, I wanted to, make sure I satisfy any other questions that your team has. Is there anything else I can answer before I let you guys get back to your day?
See here. No, I think we're all squared away.
Good
I
stuff.
love I love it. I appreciate it, Ryan. Oh, wait. It looks like Pamela
Pamela,
has.
being that I have participated, okay, Pamela, if you're a past client, so I'm going to put something out there. If you're a past client, I'm going to do something extra special for you. Okay, you don't pay, like if you're a past client, you don't pay the setup fee. You just pay for your magazines because you've already paid the setup fee in the past. It's a one-time setup fee. You never pay it again, right? So for those of you that are past clients, scan it. The only thing you're paying for is the magazines at this point. There's no reason. You've already paid your setup. Like, give this thing a shot, scratch the record. Memorial Day is coming up. A lot of friends and family that haven't seen each other in a long time. Going to be a lot of life conversations happening. Get in front of these conversations, scratch the record. Let's get you in there for the tail end of the spring market. I'll get you listings. If you can do this thing, follow some execution, and listen to the mentorship, I will get you listings. I don't get paid to sign you up for things. I get paid to retain you. So give me that shot, and we'll take it from there. Again, thank you guys for the opportunity. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Ryan. And let's
Thank you.
connect offline so we can see what that looks like on the brokerage level as well.
We'll do. I'll make sure I make a note of it. I'll reach out to you later this afternoon. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
Thank
Take
you.
care.